Hello children, how are you all? I can hear you say something. Are you saying, I am fine, thank you ma'am? Yes, you just did. Now, let me ask you, what is the caption statement of our school? It is making a difference. So you know children, you too must be different. So when anybody asks you, how are you? Don't say that same boring thing, I am fine, thank you ma'am. You must say, I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm terrific. And then you will be different from others. And that will be making a difference. Okay, so today is the time for us to learn English. And now I'm going to tell you something about verbs. Have you heard this word before? You must have heard it, dear children, but you may not be knowing that verbs can be of two kinds. So what is a verb? A verb is an action word. A verb is a doing word. So now what am I doing? I am talking. That is a verb. You are listening. That is also a verb. And you may be writing. That is also a verb. So children, verbs can be divided into two. The first kind of verb is called regular verbs. Now you know children, regular verbs are verbs which just keep changing into the ed form. So let me give you an example. The first word that I want to tell you about is work. W-O-R-K, work. Now if I want to change this work into the past tense, you know the past tense? If I want to change this word work into the past tense, I will just add ed and I will write W-O-R-K-E-D and it became worked. Now let me give you another example. Let's take the word play. P-L-A-Y, play. What do you think is the past tense of play? Let's watch. P-L-A-Y and I will add ed and it will become played. So that is the past tense of play. Let's take another example. The word is cook. C-O-O-K, cook. And now if I want to change this into past tense, what do I have to write? I just have to write C-O-O-K-E-D and it's become cooked. So you see, these verbs which change into the past tense form by adding ed, these are called regular verbs. Pretty simple, isn't it? Now, let's take the other kind of verbs. Now, the opposite, the antonym of regular, irregular. So, I-R-R-E-G-U-L-A-R. Irregular verbs. Now, you know children, some irregular verbs do not change into any past tense form. Now let's write the first word cut. C-U-T, cut. This word does not change into the past tense form. It remains as cut even in the past tense form. So if I say I will cut or I cut vegetables. And if I say yesterday, then if I'm talking about yesterday, I should be using the past tense of cut. But the past tense of cut is also cut. So I will say, yesterday I had cut some vegetables. Or yesterday I cut some vegetables. Today I will cut. So the word cut remains as cut in every form. The simple present tense, the past tense, and also the future tense. So let's take another word. Hit. H-I-T, hit. This word also in the present tense remains as hit, and in the past tense it does not change. It still remains as hit. And let us take another word. Beat. B-E-A-T, beat. Beat also does not have a new past tense form. Beat remains as beat. But you know, children, there are some words which do have a very different past tense form. We do not write ed. We write a different word altogether, and those are also irregular verbs. Now let me give you an example. The first word that I want to write here is give. G-I-V-E, give. You know, children, this give, when it changes into past tense, it becomes gave. G-A-V-E, gave. And you know, I'll give you another word with G. Get. G-E-T, get. But you know, when I change it into past tense, I don't say getted. I say got. G-O-T, got. And then let's take another small word. Take. T-A-K-E, take. You see, when I change it into past tense, it does not become taked. It becomes took. T-O-O-K, took. So you see, children, the difference between regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs change into the past tense by adding ed form, the ed form. But irregular words sometimes don't change at all, and sometimes they change into a very new word. Now let's watch a very small video on regular and irregular verbs, and then I think it will become completely easy for you to understand.
Regular verbs, irregular verbs. Ricky believes that all the verbs in simple past tense end in ed. Nikki believes that some verbs in simple past tense do not end in ed. Ricky, my father sold his car. Nikki, please say, my father sold his car. Who is right, Ricky or Nikki? The verbs that end in ed or d to indicate an action in the past are called regular verbs. For example, turn, turned, play, played, walk, walked, work, worked. The verbs that do not end in ed or d to indicate an action in the past are called irregular verbs. They change their spellings. For example, sleep, slept, eat, ate, sit, sat, stand, stood.
So, did you see that, children? They have not spoken about the words which don't change their form. But remember, I told it to you, and those are words like hit or beat or cut. Now, children, I hope this topic, regular and irregular verbs, is absolutely clear to everybody. Now, if you look at your page, you can see that there is some vocabulary and some grammar also here. That we will be doing on a later date. Today we will be doing one more very small topic, and that is called punctuation. Punctuation. Where will I find it? I'll find it on page number 41 of your English Rose Reader. Now this topic you have already done when you were studying in class 3. It's about the apostrophe S. But just to remind you, I'm going to give you 2 examples. Let's take an example. The plant of Pingala. This is not a sentence, children. The plant of Pingala. Can you see it on my board? The plant of Pingala. How shall I make this small? How shall I contract it? I will write Pingala's plant. Pingala's plant. And in order to write that Pingala's plant, if you can see, we are using an apostrophe S. Let's take a second example. The son of the farmer. The son of the farmer. How shall I make this one small? The farmer's son. So what do? I need to put an apostrophe S there. Can you see that? And remember, the apostrophe is inside when we talk about one farmer. So now in your book, you have a small example given to you here which you can read, and then you also have a small exercise which we are going to solve now. So what is the question? Let me put my page up, children. The question is, rewrite these sentences. Rewrite these sentences using the apostrophe. Using the apostrophe to show belonging. Okay? To show belonging. Now children, let's take the first one. And which page is it on, children? Please mind you, page number 41. So the first sentence is already done for you, but I'm showing it to you here again. The ball that belongs to Amala is lost. The ball that belongs to Amala is lost. So full stop. This is which sentence, children? Sentence number 1. This is sentence number 1. And if you can see, the answer is already given to you here. The answer is Amala's with an apostrophe S. Amala's ball is lost. So that's a sentence. So we should end with a full stop. Now let's look at sentence number 2. Now we are moving to sentence number 2. The house that belongs to the old man. The house that belongs to the old man has been sold. Has been sold. Full stop. Did you get it? Now, the answer, children. What shall we write here? The house that belongs to the old man has been lost. The old man's house. The old man's house. See the apostrophe there? Apostrophe S. The old man's house has been sold. So what do you understand from this? From so many words, we are reducing the sentence to a few words. So which do you think is sounding better? The house that belongs to the old man has been sold, or the old man's house has been sold. This one is direct and simple. That is the reason why, children, we use the apostrophe S. Now let's look at Sentence number 3. Sentence number 3. The bat that belongs to Manoj. The bat that belongs to Manoj, M-A-N-O-J, is very light, full stop. The bat that belongs to Manoj is very light. So now, whose bat is that? It is Manoj's bat. So how shall we start our sentence? Let's begin with Manoj's bat. The answer, Manoj's bat, M-A-N-O-J, then apostrophe S. Manoj's bat is very light. Full stop. Now you see the sentence has become short and sweet. Now let's take sentence number 4. What does sentence number 4 say? It's a long one. The necklace that belongs to my mother is made of gold. Very long sentence. The necklace that belongs to my mother is made of gold. That's the sentence. Full stop. Now let's look at the answer. Let's begin with my mother. But I can't write my mother. I should write my mother's. Let's write the answer. My mother's. So we put an apostrophe S. My mother's necklace. What shall we write? Then we'll complete the sentence. Is made of gold. Full stop. Is made of gold. Now you can see once again the sentence has reduced and become small. Now sentence number 5. The tail that the monkey has is long. So the tail that the monkey has is long. Full stop. So you see, we are talking about the monkey's tail actually. So in the answer, what shall we write? We will write the monkey's apostrophe S tail is long. Full stop. Clear? Let's move on to the last one, the last and final one. Number 6. Sentence number 6. The cloth bag that the girl is carrying, has a beautiful design. The cloth bag that the girl is carrying has a beautiful design. Now children, let me remind you, even if you're writing short sentences, there's not much place here to write. So you must write neatly and nicely in the given space. Just below the question, you can write down the answers. So let's take the last one. Let's see if you can find out the answer. I think you already guessed it. The cloth bag that the girl is carrying has a beautiful design. So who is doing the work in the sentence, children? It is the girl. So let us begin with the girl's apostrophe S cloth bag, and then what do? We go to that part of the sentence, has a beautiful design. Full stop. So did you see that? The girl's cloth bag has a beautiful design. So what is the use of this apostrophe S? It helps us to make the sentences short. Now that much for today. We shall be continuing studying about the tenses in another class. Thank you children. Have a wonderful day.